Hello, friends. Handshake. Welcome back to the channel. Sparkles. In today's video, we will explore some interesting United States Lincoln 1-cent coins, 2000, 2001, 2005, 2060, and 2008. All of these coins feature the iconic Abraham Lincoln design, with the obverse side includes "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year, while the reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial along with United States of America 1 cent and E Pluribus Unum. These coins are not only part of everyday use, but also an important piece of history, as they represent the final years of the Lincoln Memorial design, 1959 to 2008. So if you're interested in coin collecting or want to learn about rare and valuable coins, this video is going to be very exciting for you. Fire. Let's get started. Rocket. The United States 1-cent coin dated 2000 is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, one of the most recognizable and historically significant coins in American numismatics. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic figure. By the year 2000, this design had already been in circulation for over 90 years, making a staple of everyday American commerce, as well as a favorite among collectors. The obverse front of the 2001 cent coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Surrounding Lincoln's image are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 2000 to the right. Depending on where the coin was minted, a small mint mark may also appear beneath the date. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those struck in Denver display a D. In 2000, billions of these coins were produced, reflecting the high demand for small change in the U.S. economy at the time. The reverse back of the 2000 Lincoln cent features the iconic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design was created by Frank Gasparo and remained in use until 2008. The Lincoln Memorial is depicted in remarkable detail, and if examined closely, a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial can be seen between the central columns, an impressive feat of miniature engraving. Above the memorial are the words "United States of America," while below it is a denomination 1 cent. The Latin motto "E Pluribus Unum," meaning "out of many one," is inscribed above the memorial, symbolizing the unity of the original 13 colonies into a single nation. This combination of imagery and text reflects both national pride and historical continuity, reinforcing the coin's role as not just currency, but also a cultural artifact. In terms of composition, the 2000 Lincoln cent is made primarily of zinc with a thin outer coating of copper. Specifically, it consists of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This composition was introduced in 1982 as a cost-saving measure, replacing the earlier bronze alloy that was more expensive to produce. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, with a smooth edge, while the outer copper plating gives the coin its traditional reddish appearance. Over time, circulation can cause where that exposes the underlying zinc, sometimes resulting in discoloration or corrosion if the plating is damaged. Despite its low face value, the coin's design and materials reflect a balance between tradition and economic practicality. From a collector's perspective, the 2000 Lincoln cent is generally considered a common coin due to its high mintage. Philadelphia and Denver mints together produce several billion coins that year, meaning most examples found in circulation hold only their face value. However, coins in uncirculated condition, especially those graded highly by professional grading services, can carry a small premium. Additionally, error coins from the year 2000, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or coins with plating issues, may be of particular interest to collectors and can sometimes be worth significantly more depending on the rarity and severity of the error. Proof versions of the 2000 Lincoln cent were also produced at the San Francisco Mint, bearing an S mint mark and featuring a mirror-like finish. These proof coins were not intended for circulation, but were sold as part of collector sets, making them more desirable in numismatic circles. Historically, the Lincoln cent series reflects the evolving story of the United States, and the 2000 issue sits at the turn of a new millennium, symbolizing continuity between past and present. By this time, the coin had witnessed major events of the 20th century, from world wars to technological revolutions, yet its design remained largely unchanged, a testament to its enduring significance. Just a few years later, in 2009, the reverse design would be temporarily replaced with a series of commemorative designs celebrating different stages of Lincoln's life, followed by the introduction of the Union Shield reverse in 2010. Therefore, the 2000 Lincoln cent represents one of the final years of the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse, adding a subtle layer of historical importance for collectors who appreciate the long-running design. In summary, the 2000 United States 1-cent coin bearing the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and "E Pluribus Unum," is a small yet meaningful piece of American history. Its familiar design, durable composition, and widespread circulation make it an everyday object with deep cultural roots. While most examples are not rare or highly valuable, the coin remains significant due to its connection to Abraham Lincoln, its place within a century-old series, and its role in marking transition into the 21st century. Whether viewed as simple pocket change or as part of a broader numismatic collection, the 2000 Lincoln cent continues to hold both historical and symbolic value. The United States 1-cent coin dated 2001 is a continuation of the iconic Lincoln cent series, which has been an enduring symbol of American currency and heritage since its introduction in 1909. This coin, commonly referred to as a penny, carries forward design that had already been in circulation for more than 9 decades by the time the year 2001 arrived. The Lincoln cent was groundbreaking when first issued because it marked the first time a real historical figure, President Abraham Lincoln, appeared on a regular circulating U.S. coin, replacing earlier designs that typically featured allegorical representations, such as Lady Liberty. By 2001, the coin had become deeply ingrained in American daily life, used in countless transactions and recognized instantly by people across the country. The 2001 issue represents a moment in time at the beginning of the 21st century, capturing both continuity and tradition as the United States entered a new era while still preserving long-standing national symbols on its coinage. The obverse front of a 2001 Lincoln cent features the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait is notable for its simplicity, dignity, and historical importance, presenting Lincoln as a calm and thoughtful leader. Above Lincoln's head appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," which reflects the country's long-standing cultural and philosophical values. To the left of the portrait is the word liberty, symbolizing one of the core principles upon which the United States was founded. On the right side is the date 2001, indicating the year of minting, and just below or near the date is the mint mark, depending on where the coin was produced. Coins minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those struck in Denver bear a small D. In addition, proof coins minted in San Francisco carry an S mint mark and are specially produced for collectors with a higher quality finish. The obverse design has remained remarkably consistent over the decades, with only minor modifications, preserving the legacy of Brenner's original work. The reverse back of the 2001 1-cent coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo and remained in use until 2008, making it one of the longest-running reverse designs in U.S. coin history. The Lincoln Memorial is depicted with impressive detail, including its columns and architectural structure, and a small but fascinating feature is the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible between the central columns, a remarkable example of precision engraving on such a small surface. Above the memorial is the inscription, "United States of America," while the denomination 1 cent appears below. The Latin phrase "E Pluribus Unum," meaning "out of many one," is inscribed above the memorial, representing the unity of the states into a single nation. Together, these elements create a design that is both aesthetically pleasing and deeply symbolic, reflecting the ideals and history of the United States. In terms of composition, the 2001 Lincoln cent is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Specifically, the coin consists of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a composition that was adopted in 1982 as a cost-saving measure due to the rising price of copper. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, with a thickness of about 1.52 millimeters. Its edge is plain, smooth, unlike some other coins that feature reading. The copper plating gives a coin its traditional reddish-brown appearance when new, although coins in circulation often darken over time or develop spots and wear due to handling. If the copper plating is damaged, the underlying zinc core may become exposed, leading to corrosion or discoloration. Despite these changes over time, the coin remains durable enough for everyday use, which is essential given the large quantities produced and circulated each year. The mintage of the 2001 Lincoln cent was extremely high, reflecting its continued importance in everyday commerce. Billions of coins were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, ensuring a steady supply of small denomination currency across the United States. Because of this high mintage, the 2001 penny is generally considered a common coin and is readily available in circulation. Most examples hold only their face value of 1 cent, making them accessible to collectors of all levels. However, coins in uncirculated condition, especially those with strong luster and minimal marks, can carry a slight premium among collectors. Additionally, proof coins produced at the San Francisco Mint are more desirable due to their limited mintage and high-quality finish, often featuring sharp details and a mirror-like background. For numismatists and coin enthusiasts, the 2001 Lincoln cent may also hold interest due to the possibility of minting errors or varieties. Error coins, such as those with double dies, off-center strikes, or plating issues, can be significantly more valuable than standard coins, depending on their rarity and condition. Collectors often examine coins from this period carefully in search of such anomalies, as they can add uniqueness and value to a collection. While major, widely recognized varieties for the 2001 cent are relatively limited compared to some earlier years, minor errors and die variations still exist and can attract attention in the numismatic community. Historically, the 2001 Lincoln cent occupies a place at the very beginning of the 21st century, a time of transition and modernization in the United States. Despite rapid technological advancements and changes in the economy, the design of the penny remained largely unchanged, reflecting a sense of stability and tradition. Just a few years later, in 2009, the U.S. Mint introduced a series of new reverse designs to commemorate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, followed by the adoption of the Union Shield design in 2010. As a result, the 2001 penny is part of the final decade of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse era, making a subtle but meaningful piece of that long-running design's history. In conclusion, the 2001 United States 1 cent coin featuring the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and "E Pluribus Unum" is a small yet significant artifact of American culture and history. The United States 1 cent coin 2005, widely known as the Lincoln penny, is an enduring symbol of American history, culture, and everyday commerce. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent marked a significant shift in U.S. coinage by featuring a real historical figure instead of allegorical imagery. By the time the 2005 penny was minted, this coin had already been in continuous circulation for nearly a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in the world. The 2005 issue carries the traditional inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," "United States of America, 1 cent," and "E Pluribus Unum," all of which reflect the philosophical, political, and cultural foundations of the United States. These inscriptions are not merely decorative. They represent ideals such as faith, freedom, unity, and national identity that have been central to the American story since its founding. The 2005 penny was minted primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint marked with a D, with production reaching into the billions, ensuring its widespread availability in everyday transactions across the country. On the obverse front of the 2005 1 cent coin is the iconic right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This portrait has remained largely unchanged since its debut in 1909, making it one of the most recognizable and historically significant images in American coinage. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in ending slavery, making his presence on the coin deeply symbolic. Above his head appears the inscription, "In God We Trust," a phrase that reflects the nation's acknowledgement of faith and has been used on U.S. coins since the 19th century. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, representing the fundamental American value of freedom and democracy. On the right side, the year 2005 is inscribed, along with the mint mark that the coin was struck in Denver. The design is simple yet powerful, combining artistic elegance with deep historical meaning, and it continues to resonate with collectors and citizens alike. The reverse back of the 2005 Lincoln penny features the well-known Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Asparo, this reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., rendered with impressive detail for such a small coin. One of the most fascinating aspects of this design is that it subtly includes a tiny depiction of Lincoln's seated statue inside the memorial, making the coin unique in that it features the same individual on both sides. Above the memorial is the inscription, "United States of America," emphasizing national identity and sovereignty. Below the memorial appears the denomination 1 cent, clearly indicating the coin's value. The Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning "out of many one," is placed above the memorial and symbolizes the unity of the individual states forming a single nation. This reverse design remained in use for decades and became deeply associated with the Lincoln penny, making the 2005 coin part of a long-standing and beloved tradition in American numismatics. In terms of composition and physical characteristics, the 2005 1-cent coin is made primarily of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, a composition that has been standard since 1982 due to the rising cost of copper. This gives the coin the appearance of a traditional copper penny, while significantly reducing production expenses. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a weight of 2.5 grams, and a plain edge without any reading. Its relatively small size and lightweight nature make it convenient for everyday use, though it is often overlooked due to its low face value. Despite this, the penny plays an important role in pricing, transactions, and charitable activities, and it remains a fundamental unit of U.S. currency. Over the years, there has been ongoing debate about the economic practicality of continuing to produce pennies, as the cost of manufacturing them often exceeds their face value. Nevertheless, the coin persists as a cultural and historical icon. From a collective perspective, the 2005 Lincoln penny is generally considered a common coin, as billions were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. In circulated condition, it typically holds only its face value, but coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can be worth slightly more, particularly if they exhibit strong luster, sharp details, and minimal imperfections. Professional grading services may assign higher values to coins graded MS65 or above, especially if they are well-preserved examples. Additionally, collectors often search for error varieties, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double die errors, which can significantly increase the coin's value and desirability. While the standard 2005 penny may not be rare, it is still an essential piece for those building a complete Lincoln cent collection, as it represents a continuation of classic design that would soon undergo a historic in 2009. Culturally and historically, the 2005 1-cent coin stands as a representation of continuity and tradition within U.S. coinage. It belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial series, which lasted from 1959 to 2008, and became one of the most familiar coin designs in the world. The presence of inscriptions like "In God We Trust, Liberty," and "E pluribus unum" reinforces the enduring values of faith, freedom, and unity that define the American nation. Although it may seem like a small and insignificant object in daily life, the 2005 penny carries with it over a century of history, artistry, and national identity. For collectors, historians, and everyday users alike, it serves as a tangible connection to the past and a reminder of the principles upon which the United States was built. Even in an age of digital transactions and evolving currency systems, the Lincoln penny continues to hold a special place in the hearts and pockets of millions, symbolizing both tradition and resilience in the face of change. The United States 1-cent coin 2006D, commonly known as a Lincoln penny, is a continuation of one of the longest-running and most historically significant coin series in the world. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln set marked a major change in American coinage by featuring a real historical figure instead of symbolic imagery. By 2006, this coin had already been in circulation for nearly a century, becoming a familiar and essential part of daily life in the United States. The 2006 D penny carries important inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," "United States of America," 1 cent, and "E Pluribus Unum," each reflecting the core values, beliefs, and unity of the nation. The D Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing circulating coinage in large quantities. With billions of coins minted, the 2006 D penny is very common, yet it still holds significance as part of the historic Lincoln cent series. On the obverse front of the 2006 D1 cent coin, the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln is prominently displayed, facing right. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1909, making it one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coin history. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is remembered for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in preserving the Union and abolishing slavery. Above his head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," a phrase that reflects the nation's spiritual heritage and has appeared on U.S. coins since the 19th century. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word "liberty," symbolizing freedom and democratic ideals. On the right side, you'll find the year 2006 along with a D Mint mark, identify it as a Denver minted coin. The simplicity and clarity of the obverse design contribute to its timeless appeal and make it instantly recognizable around the world. The reverse back of the 2006 D. Lincoln penny features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with remarkable architectural detail for such a small coin. One unique aspect of this design is that it includes a tiny image of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial, making the coin one of the few in the world to depict the same person on both sides. Above the memorial is the inscription, "United States of America," emphasizing national identity. Below the memorial appears a denomination 1 cent, clearly indicating the coin's value. The Latin motto, "E Pluribus Unum," meaning "out of many one," is placed above the memorial and represents the unity of the individual states forming a single nation. This reverse design remained in use from 1959 until 2008, making the 2006 D penny part of the final years of this iconic and widely recognized design era. In terms of composition and physical specifications, the 2006 D1 cent coin is made of 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper plating, a composition adopted in 1982 to reduce production costs due to rising copper prices. Despite its copper-like appearance, the coin's core is primarily zinc, which makes it lighter and more economical to produce. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a weight of 2.5 grams, and a plain, smooth edge. These specifications have remained consistent for modern Lincoln cents, ensuring uniformity and ease of use in commerce. Although the penny has a low face value, it continues to play a role in pricing, transactions, and charitable giving. However, there's been ongoing debate in the United States about the practicality of continuing to produce pennies, as the cost of manufacturing them often exceeds their 1 cent value. Despite these discussions, the penny remains an enduring symbol of American currency and tradition. From a numismatic collector's perspective, the 2006 D. Lincoln penny is considered a common-date coin due to its extremely high mintage, with billions produced at the Denver Mint alone. In circulated condition, it typically holds only its face value of 1 cent. However, coins in uncirculated or mint-state condition can be worth slightly more, especially if they exhibit strong luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks. High-grade examples, such as those graded MS-65 or above by professional grading services, may carry a premium among collectors. Additionally, collectors often search for mint errors and varieties, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, or other anomalies, which can significantly increase the coin's value. While the standard 2006 D penny is not rare, it is still an important piece for collectors who aim to complete a full Lincoln cent collection, particularly those focusing on the Lincoln Memorial series. Historically and culturally, the 2006 D1 cent coin represents a continuation of a long-standing American tradition that spans generations. It belongs to the Lincoln Memorial series, 1959 to 2008, which is one of the most widely recognized coin designs in the world. The inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and "E Pluribus Unum" serve as reminders of the principles that define the United States: faith, freedom, and unity. Although the coin may seem small and insignificant in everyday transactions, it carries with it a deep historical legacy and cultural importance. Just a few years after 2006, in 2009, the U.S. Mint introduced a special series of redesigned pennies to celebrate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, marking the end of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design era. As a result, the 2006 D penny stands as part of the final chapter of this classic design, making it a meaningful and collectible piece for both casual enthusiasts and serious numismatists. The United States 1 cent coin 2008, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, is one of the most recognizable and widely collected coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic imagery. By 2008, this coin had already been in circulation for nearly a century, maintaining its iconic design and cultural significance. The 2008 penny continues this long tradition, carrying the familiar inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and "E Pluribus Unum," which reflect the nation's values, unity, and historical identity. This coin was minted at several facilities, primarily Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark, and billions were produced, making it very common in circulation, but still meaningful for collectors due to its historical continuity. On the obverse front of the 2008 1 cent coin, you will find a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This portrait has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on U.S. coins since the Civil War era and reflects the country's spiritual heritage. To the left of Lincoln is the word "liberty," symbolizing freedom and the core principles upon which the United States was founded. On the right side, the year 2008 is inscribed, along with the mint mark if applicable. The simplicity and elegance of this design make it instantly recognizable and deeply symbolic, representing both the legacy of Lincoln and the enduring ideals of the nation. The reverse back of the 2008 penny features the famous Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design was created by Frank Gasparo and depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., with remarkable detail considering the small size of the coin. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny representation of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial, making this one of the few coins in the world to feature the same person on both sides. Above the memorial is the inscription "United States of America," while below it appears a denomination 1 cent. The Latin phrase "E Pluribus Unum," meaning "out of many one," is displayed above the memorial, symbolizing the unity of the states forming a single nation. This reverse design remained in use until 2008, after which it was replaced in 2009 with special bicentennial designs celebrating Lincoln's life. In terms of composition, the 2008 1 cent coin is made primarily of 97.5% zinc with thin copper plating of 2.5%, giving it the appearance of a traditional copper coin while reducing production costs. This composition has been used since 1982, when rising copper prices made it impractical to continue minting pennies from solid copper. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a weight of 2.5 grams, and a plain edge. Despite its small size and low face value, the penny plays an important role in everyday transactions and remains a symbol of American currency. However, debates have continued over the years regarding the cost of producing pennies, which often exceeds their face value, leading some to question their future in circulation. From a collector's perspective, the 2008 Lincoln penny is generally considered a common coin due to its high mintage numbers, with billions struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In circulated condition, it typically holds only its face value, but in uncirculated or mint state condition, it can be worth slightly more, especially if it has a strong strike, original luster, and no visible damage. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services may carry a premium among collectors. Additionally, collectors often look for error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or other minting anomalies, which can significantly increase the coin's value. While the standard 2008 penny may not be rare, it is still an essential part of any Lincoln cent collection, especially as it represents the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design before the major redesign in 2009. Historically and culturally, the 2008 1-cent coin holds a special place as the last regular-issue Lincoln Memorial penny, marking the end of an era in U.S. coinage. The following year, 2009, introduced a series of 4 new reverse designs celebrating different stages of Abraham Lincoln's life, making the 2008 coin a transitional piece between the classic and modern eras of the Lincoln cent. The enduring presence of inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and "E Pluribus Unum" highlights the values that have shaped the United States over centuries: faith, freedom, and unity. Even though it is a small and often overlooked coin, the 2008 penny carries with it a rich history, artistic legacy, and cultural meaning that continues to resonate with collectors and the general public alike.